we've gone through this electioneering process. The process has delivered outcomes, and we take note of the concession speech delivered by His Excellency Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia. And before the concession speech, the party put out the results as has been compiled through our own collation system. Fortunately, these results have not been contested by our main opponents, and they have heeded to our call to concede to defeat so that we can bring down the tension which has been rising in the nation. We thought that the competent Electoral Commission must have had their results now, because you have a commission which is a referee. The key players, the two key players, have produced our results, and you are to pronounce, and yet they seem to be feet dragging. And in our earlier press conference addressed by the National Communication Officer, we indicated how necessary it is for the Electoral Commission to stop the feet dragging so that the results can be announced, and then the tensions in the nation will come down. We believe that that is the way to secure peace. Unfortunately, we still are waiting on the Electoral Commission, and our agents countrywide are complaining because simply they do not understand the reason why Electoral Commission is not announcing the obvious. Because of that, the youth of this country have started reacting, and I think that this is a very dangerous moment in the history of our country. In the weeks leading to the election, you all recollect that the National Peace Council plus other peace industry players came to our office here and demanded of us to sign a peace declaration. We put our cards on the table that peace cannot be guaranteed by the two participating political parties in the election, because you have other stakeholders whose responsibility is to maintain peace at each of the election theaters. And so if they do not commit themselves to conducting their duties fairly, the parties per se cannot guarantee peace. And we put our reasons for not signing the peace agreement forward. We demanded that justice be done in places where crimes had been committed during elections, some of which have been investigated, particularly the Ayawaso West Wogon case, and a report generated with recommendations for sanctions. And yet, nothing has happened to those perpetrators. And some of them, in the lead to the election, were bragging all over the place that NDC is going to win, but we will steal the vote. And if you joke, we kill you and nothing will happen. We brought all this to the attention of the National Peace Council and asked them to actually get the government players to commit to the peace deal and also put in place a naming and shaming scheme where they will be monitoring the conduct of all the signatories, so that when or if they find any of the signatories reneging on their commitment, then they can be named publicly and shamed, and we believe that that will force those actors to take the appropriate action. Throughout all this electioneering process, we have persistently been complaining about Electoral Commission's feet dragging in getting results announced. We have not heard the National Peace Council or anybody in the peace industry calling the Electoral Commission to fast track their duty of collating and announcing results so that it brings peace in this country. As we speak to you, and earlier on, you were here when our National Communication Officer explained to you the outcomes as per our collation system. And they still are available for everybody to see. And the evidence is overwhelmingly clear. It is not as if the outcomes of the elections is that close that can generate any controversy. President John Dramani Mahama has secured a historical 56%, over 56% of the votes. And these figures are compilations from our copies of the Electoral Commission's pink sheets across the country. So if they have the originals and they have signed and given us copies of the originals they are holding, what prevents them from putting their own totals together and announcing? We told them that we are aware of government's connivance with the Electoral Commission to delay the declaration of results so that agitations will start and then the military will be unleashed to shoot and kill innocent citizens. We made this thing clear to the National Peace Council. So one would have thought that if the National Peace Council is actually interested in peace, and they have as a matter of fact that the two key political parties have all declared results that are consistent in a certain direction, they ought to call out the Electoral Commission to live by the commitments they have signed to. I felt disappointed when a deputy chairperson of the commission addressed a press conference virtually indicating that nobody can pressurize them to declare elections and so on. So they should come and tell us if they have any challenges that is impeding the expedition of the collations and declaration. The nation ought to know. But keeping the nation, in a in a situation where nobody knows what is happening, interested parties are bound to react. In fact, I have been called upon by the National Peace Council to speak to the youth of my party to remain calm. And I have responded that I have done that before 4 years ago. And they remained calm and they were cheated. And nothing happened. So the only way I can call on the youth of my party and of this country to remain calm is where justice has been delivered, and maybe out of jubilation or retribution, I can call them to stay calm, because then you have a government that will ensure that wrongdoers will be punished. And that is the only way I can commit myself to calling the youth to remain calm. We cannot remain calm and be cheated twice. So the way forward is for the National Peace Council and all the other actors to call on the Electoral Commission to expedite action on the declaration. You don't need to declare all the constituency results before you declare the winner of the presidential elections. That can be done. If it is done now, we will then follow up with a reasonable statement calling on our people, those who fear that they could be cheated, to now pipe down, and then there will be peace. But in this situation where everybody is in suspense, if I, as the National Chairman of NDC, call on my party people to remain calm and allow themselves to be cheated, I will not survive it. And I'm not. So thank you very much. Today, I'm not accepting any questions, and I'm not answering any questions.
Thank you.